Watch. Electric front right motor from Lippert. So easy to replace that I can do it. Watch this.
Might be able to use that. It's the motor from the right front stabilizer jack made by Lippert. So we're going to replace the motor. So easy.
Monkeys can do it.
So easy, he's going to do all of it. That's how easy it is.
Yeah.
Let's go do it.
We made it to the Tampa RV Super Show. We got set up. Of course, that was made tricky by the right front jack not leveling, so we had to do everything manually.
It was fun. Good old socket wrench. But hey, we're level, and now we're heading to this RV content creators group hangout.
Yeah.
Meet a lot of folks.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're late, but
Stuff happens.
that's our style. Hey.
Wintering this year in Florida means we get to attend the Tampa RV Super Show.
We walked through dozens of RVs, so we have plenty of content coming on our Will I Fit series, so stay tuned.
So Bill did the tall tests. He did the shower test. He did the toilet test. He did the stair test.
In addition to all of the RV walkthroughs, we got to check out some of the vendors.
We even ran into some strange folks, and some familiar faces as well.
But the best part of the Tampa RV Super Show isn't the RVs and it isn't the vendors. It's catching up with all of our friends and making new ones.
We left Tampa and the RV show behind, and now we are in Ormond Beach at the Holiday Daytona campground, and it is gorgeous here. Now we're gonna roll up and check in. We made it. We are set up, but it wasn't pretty. This RV park is like circular with all of their rows, and it made for a really challenging angle trying to get in to our spot. And it would have been easier if we'd come from the other end, but the other side roads are so narrow, and then they have really sharp curves. We just didn't want to chance it. So we got it in here. You got to check out this angle though. It was crazy. Here's the road we came in on. We pulled all the way up there. So we were like this, and then we had to basically rotate all the way back this way to get in there. And we might have, like with the independent axles, but the tires, when they do that, they just don't really move much. So it kind of tore up the ground a little bit, but we made it. But it's a huge site. I guess this is no man's land. Whew, I didn't think we were gonna make it, but teamwork, we got her done. So not only was it tricky to get into the spot, but for some reason, when it gets cold, this one lever on our jacks gets stuck. But we got it out with a little bit of muscle and ingenuity. So now we are going to lubricate it to make sure it can go in easily. We haven't had time to get the motor fixed for the other jack, so we're having to level this thing manually. That's the beep.
Now, just like RV does it, we're gonna try to level front to back and side to side before we put the stabilizers down.
Unfortunately, because our jack is malfunctioning and our auto leveling system will not properly work, it also means we can't see how level or unlevel we are. So we have traveled with this teeny tiny little leveler, and we're gonna use this on the inside of the rig to see if we're level side to side, front to back, and like how much we need to kind of move the jacks out, because we're doing that all manually, and see if we can eyeball getting level.
I'm attempting to lower the rear because raising the front would be more difficult.
Walkie-talkies, not just good for backing up the RV, but for communication inside and outside as well. And as you can see, it's not really done anything with the level. All right, so here is our manual override. Just got to crank it. Oh, that's heavy. Since we are cranking and manually doing this outside, I decided to bring the level outside, and we're using the pin box. And look at it, she looks pretty good.
Hey everybody, it's Bill.
And Will.
We did run into some trouble leaving Orlando, and our front right jack just wouldn't go up. So we did some problem solving. So it seems we needed a new motor. Luckily, Giant Recreation Center, RV World, is right next door to the campground here. They ordered us a new part. We went and picked it up. So we're gonna replace the motor. This looks, careful with my words here. This looks really simple. So simple, this guy is gonna do it all.
Yay.
Let's go do it.
Step 1, unclip these electric wires.
Woohoo!
Of course. Step 1, done.
Crushed it.
Yeah, high five. This is what the motor looks like. There's only 2 bolts holding it in. 1 and 2. The second will be harder since it's behind, but I can do it easy. It's a 13mm socket. Probably have to use the wrench on the other side though. Got it.
Ooh.
Now we have to line this up into that hole. So, yay. Let's put it in the hole now. If it doesn't line up, you could just use a 3/4 inch drive to make it line up. Put it in the top and then you twist it. Once it's lined up, it goes right on. Make sure you put your dust cap back on. It's hard to get on. So make sure you're only taking it off when you need to. Put your bolts right back in. Start them by hand. Then you can use the socket wrench. You might have to wiggle it back and forth a little bit to get it in. Do the other side before you completely tighten it down. Next step, re-clip the connections, then you can try it out.
Five years later. So it seems. Out here making a mess. Beverly Hillbillies come to town. Sorry about that, RV park. So we replaced the motor. Replacing that is really easy. Will did it. Fortunately, that wasn't our problem. So what do I do when I need help and I'm stumped? I call my buddy Garrett, Diary of a Family certified RV tech, and he reluctantly gives me free advice. Garrett, we owe you so much. So he says to look for a control module somewhere. It could be a fuse, could be something. And you know also what happened at 1000 Trails Orlando, if you're keeping up with this. We were replacing our water filter and we had water all in there. So we took everything out and shoved everything back in there. Well, I think we might have jarred something loose. So now the smaller, more limber one of us is in there, and we think we found the problem. Garrett, thanks for pointing us in the right direction. We're gonna try this now.
This right here got bent.
Talk to Garrett. Looks like there's a prong that's bent in there. I asked him if I would shock my socks off if I tried to bend it back straight. He said, nah, just try not to touch the 2 prongs together. And maybe turn off your battery. Disconnect. Cool. I'll try that. Big guy in a tiny space. Oh my gut, my side was cramping up. Oh, I had to get out of there. But I think I got it bent back straight. See if Will can climb in there with a little flashlight and get the clip back on. See what happens.
I'm off of work, so now it's time for me to help. And Bill found the source of the problem here. So this is like the control board for all of our landing gear. It was kind of in between this box. Oh, you can't really see it, but yeah, this box held it up there in the bay. And this little piece was stuck on the cord here, and we didn't realize that they came apart. But essentially, this is the hub that has all of the electrical components that plug into the motherboard or the computer for the landing gear. And these prongs, especially this prong here, was all bent. And we had to like straighten it back up, pop it back on, and now we can plug this to make the prongs attached to the metal inside here to give it some power. So that is what we are working on now. And boy, they just don't give you any slack. Like, this is in crazy tight. So I've been over here struggling. But as soon as we get that to snap in, be set to go. We've got power back, yay! The jack goes in and it comes out, yay! So now we have to reset the system. So again, we're gonna do the same thing Bill did before. We're gonna hook up the truck. We're going to put all of the jacks out to 6 inches, because that is how you set your Lippert auto leveling system, or how you reset it. So we'll put them all out to 6 inches, we'll retract them all, and that should fix the system.
Well, in true NOTB fashion, what started off as, this is so simple, Will can do it, turned into hours waiting for Natasha to get off, letting her climb in there.
Well, I mean, it really turned out to be something easy, though. Like, instead of paying $450 for a whole new part, all we had to do was plug it back in. Who knew?
If anybody out there needs a Lippert front and right motor, we got a spare, because we can't return it. So says the dealer. Yikes.
Hey, man, it's fixed. That's all that counts.
Yeah, so yeah, the old North Point here. Gonna give us a little trouble right before we get rid of her.
Wait, what did he say?
That's right. Bye-bye, North Point. So make sure you're subscribed and ring the bell to figure out, what are we doing? Are we selling it? Trading it in?
Ooh, stay tuned to find out.
But if you ever want to replace a motor, now you know how. And if you ever shove too much crap in your storage and break something off, we'll show you how to do that too. RV Life. Hopefully we get fully level here, which we haven't been since we got here. Well, I'm Bill.
And I'm Natasha.
And we are nursing our travel bug.
Encouraging you to nurse what makes you happy.
And that's a working stabilization system. Don't be like us. Start simple. Keep it simple, silly.
Success! Success!